Welcome back to the deep dive. We've got this stack of source material you sent over, articles, posts, all sorts. Our job. Jump in with you, pull out the key stuff, the interesting bits, give you the shortcut.
Exactly. We sift through it, find the patterns, figure out what actually matters in these specific reports.
So today we're digging into a bunch of recent pieces, mostly sourced via CoinMarketCap. They cover crypto news, market moves, what's happening right now, according to them. The mission is to quickly unpack what the stack says, find those nuggets, and get a feel for the landscape based only on these documents.
Yeah, it's quite a mix. You've got regulation, specific coin performance, even wider economic signals mentioned.
Okay, let's unpack this stack of sources.
What's
The first thing that jumps out looks like something big from China.
Yeah, one of the key reports, it's from CoinQ via CoinMarketCap, talks about China. It says they're taking action,
Yeah.
shutting down illegal crypto accounts,
And websites, too.
illegal accounts and websites. Okay, so direct action reported there. That's what the source states, yeah. A clear regulatory signal described in the report.
Got it. Okay, so moving from that specific action, the reports also talk more broadly, right? Market signals, sentiment.
One piece highlights a shift in investor confidence.
Oh, interesting. Both retail and institutional.
That's what it mentions, yeah. A development noted this week. But beyond that general feeling, the sources get really specific about, like, individual cryptos.
Okay, yeah. Let's get into those specifics. What are these reports highlighting for individual coins or projects?
Well, there's quite a list mentioned across the different articles. XRP is apparently eyeing $3, according to one source.
$3. Okay. What else?
Brett and Dogwifhat are noted as, moving up. There's a mention of Trollercat hitting a certain stage.
Stage, like a development phase or something.
Probably, yeah, based on how those reports usually frame it. Then you got SOL Solana, which is reported to be rallying pretty strongly.
Okay, strong rally for SOL. Any cautionary notes?
Yep. ADA is mentioned as signaling caution, so the indicators in that particular source might be pointing towards potential headwinds, something to watch.
Right.
And Avalanche is described as eyeing a bullish reversal.
Bullish reversal. So potentially starting an upward trend.
That's the suggestion in that report's analysis, yeah. And finally, Tezos is mentioned for mobilizing its community, specifically hosting a key community call.
Okay, so a real mix of signals across different assets there, all coming straight from these reports. And speaking of projects, I saw some really big fundraising numbers mentioned too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That seems to be a running theme in a few of these pieces, the money flowing into new stuff. Unstaked AI presale, one source says it raised $6.8 million, took off pretty fast.
6.8 million, wow. What else?
There's a Web3 AI listed in one report as like a top trending crypto for 2025. It apparently raised nearly $5 million and had a big giveaway, 777Ks during the presale.
Nearly 5 million, plus a giveaway. And wasn't there an even bigger number cited for one project?
That's right, yeah. Quebetics, one source reports a huge $17.3 million raised.
17.3 million.
And over 513 million tokens sold, according to that same source. It even suggests Quebetics could be, maybe the best crypto under $1 going into Q3 2025.
Based on their analysis, of course. But still, those are some eye-popping numbers, if accurate as reported. Definitely shows activity.
For sure. Significant capital movement highlighted there.
No, it's not just internal crypto stuff, right? These sources also connect things to external factors impacting the markets.
Yes, exactly. They draw lines between crypto and the wider world. Like one article talks about Trump's proposed 50% tariff on EU goods.
A tariff? How does that link to crypto, according to the report?
Well, the source claims this proposal is shaking crypto markets, and specifically altering Bitcoin's dynamics.
Interesting. So the report draws a direct line from that proposed policy to Bitcoin's behavior.
Yeah. We're just relaying what the source says there, that external policy or proposed policy can apparently have these effects according to their analysis.
Okay, that's one major external factor mentioned. Any others?
There's also news about Circle, the company behind the USDC stablecoin.
Oh, right. What about them?
They're reportedly looking at potential acquisition options, considering being bought, maybe?
Really? So cool.
That's what the sources say. And they note that this kind of move by such a major player would, significantly impact the whole stablecoin scene.
Okay, wow. So let's try and pull this together. Based purely on this stack of reports, We've got Chinese regulatory action mentioned.
The crackdown.
Specific cryptos doing different things, rallying, caution signals,
A
reversals.
real mixed bag of performance signals.
Huge amounts of reported fundraising for new projects.
Yeah, those big presale numbers.
And then these external things like proposed tariffs and potential acquisitions reportedly shaking things up. So what's the overall picture these articles paint?
Well, what's really striking when you look at it all together from just these sources is the sheer variety of forces they describe. It's definitely not simple. You've got very targeted stuff, like the China crackdown report, happening at the same time as these broad potential economic things like tariffs reportedly affecting Bitcoin.
Right.
And then established coins like ADA signaling caution, while others like SOL are reported as rallying strong, plus all that money pouring into brand new projects.
So it sounds like, based on these reports, the market they describe is super dynamic, sensitive to all sorts of different news, internal and external, sometimes even contradictory signals.
Exactly. And knowing these specific details, reported the China action, the XRP target, the Quebec's funding, the tariff link, Circle's potential move, it gives you these concrete data points from the sources to sort of build your own picture of the sentiment and activity being described.
It helps make sense of the noise, basically, seeing the threads mentioned in the report.
Precisely. It helps you see the specific pieces that make up the bigger puzzle presented in these articles.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive into this specific stack of CoinMarketCap sources. We covered the reported China crackdown, the various crypto signals for XRP, SOL, ADA, and others, those big fundraising numbers for unstaked Web3 AI, Quebec's, and the external factors cited, like the tariff discussion and Circle's strategic thinking.
And stepping back from the details in these reports, you see this landscape shaped by regulation, project hype, huge capital flows, and these outside economic pressures. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? Thinking about this mix presented in the sources, what does it suggest about the nature of crypto market sentiment right now? Is it super fragmented, focused on small wins while nervous about big shocks? Or is there maybe something else going on under the surface of what these reports are telling us?
That's a great question. Definitely something to keep mulling over as you see more news. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the source material today.
My pleasure. Always interesting to unpack these things.
We'll catch you on the next one.